Kazakhstan has chosen the multi-vector integration. Its trends, collisions, and prospects are coming up in the single market program.
New Year is accompanied with the holiday celebration attributes and summing up as well, paging of the calendar of the milestone event and plans for the future. Hello, I am Pavel Koktishev. You're watching the Single Market Program. 4 years ago, Kazakhstan has introduced a new tradition to award the best foreign investors who have made a special contribution to Kazakhstan's economy and development of the high-quality production. In this period, we had already 4 awarding ceremonies. The last of such awarding ceremonies was held under the conference Kazakhstan New Investment Opportunities. This awarding ceremony was dedicated to the 25th anniversary of independence of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Zulfiya Timirgaliyeva, our correspondent from Astana, to follow with the details. Everyone at least once in their lives has experienced the power of praise. After being appraised, we're willing to move heaven and earth. Investors are human as well. Therefore, nothing human is strange to me. Public trust and high appreciation of their work is a good motivation to make the foreign investors gain dividends and satisfaction from their activities. It is a double pleasure to be awarded by Kazakhstan as the best foreign investor. In 2016, as in 2015, by the way, there were top 10 best investors, 9 companies and 1 international financial institution represented by the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development was awarded in the nomination for the investment activity in the development of Kazakhstan's economy.
Investment incentives alone, I think what really drives companies to invest are opportunities.
Range of areas where the best foreign investors of 2016 invested their capital is quite wide. It is the oil and gas industry, uranium mining and processing, production of the construction materials, pharmaceuticals, and the food industry. In this case, the investor's contribution was not assessed by the amount of funds invested only, but rather more by other factors than that.
First of all, we are very proud and happy to receive it. Our investment, even if it's not so big, we are bringing a very top technology that is, let's say, top of the art in the world.
Tenaris is a worldwide reputable company. Its products are focused on the production of the seamless steel pipe items and are available in more than 20 countries. In Kazakhstan, the plant of this company is based in a special economic zone, Aktau Seaport. $40 million were invested in the construction of this plant.
Then we found that this is an important country in the oil and gas business. With very important developments and very important operators.
Foreign companies which have invested in the economy of Almaty were awarded as the best ones. I'm talking about EFCO, the Russian company. The EFCO company has invested $40 million in the construction of the vegetable oil and fat plant in the southern metropolis, and the Kilun Chinese corporation. The Kilun company has invested $50 million in the construction of an ultra-modern pharmaceutical enterprise. We produce 23 kinds of pharmaceutical products, including sodium chloride, dextran, ofloxacin, glucose, and other injections. Such words as investment climate, comfort, a dialogue, incentives, and prospects were used more often in awarding the best foreign investors. Perhaps it is key they were used by Kazakhstan to win and gain the investors' trust. Unique geography for presenting the products at the world markets, a favorable business climate that becomes even better from year to year, effective investment projects that provide an impetus for the economic growth. Kazakhstan has all 3 key conditions for attracting foreign investments. Today, our country that recently celebrated its 25th independence anniversary and is full of energy and plans to actively continue its development. Zulfiya Timirgaliyeva, Askar Aitkenov, especially for the Single Market Program. The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development This reputable international institution is working in Kazakhstan since 1993. During the period of 23 years, the bank has invested 7.2 billion euros in Kazakhstan. In 2016, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development has invested a record-breaking amount to various areas of the Kazakh economy. It became a good gift for Kazakhstan to its 25th independence anniversary. Our contributor, Alexander Galiev, to follow with the story. In 2016, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD, has invested an amount of 900 million euros in the Kazakh economy. It is a record-breaking amount. By the way, the bank is increasing their investments amount for 3 consecutive years now after signing the Advanced Partnership Framework Agreement with the Republic of Kazakhstan's government. In 2014, EBRD has invested 568 million euros. In 2015, it invested 709 million euros. Capital-raising areas include the agriculture business industry, infrastructure, public utilities, the energy industry, small and medium enterprises, and the women's female business activity. Through their investments, the EBRD supported more than 30 projects in Kazakhstan. One of these projects is the loan extension for a lactose processing company in Kazakhstan Tenge, by the way, to increase production of the dairy products. Investments of the projects of the Astana-Almaty highway reconstruction, upgrade of the centralized heat supply system in the Pavlodar city. Special attention is focused on the projects which implementation has good environmental effects. Such projects cover more than 40% of the bank's investment portfolio. These projects include the development of the solid domestic waste management system in the Tsakhadzor city, upgrade of the underground gas storage facilities for the local gas supply purposes. The next area within the field of interest of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development is the gender area. The bank supports the Women in Business program that provides various supports to business women, loans, advisory services, training and guidance. The amount of 22.3 million euros were invested to these projects. In this case, the loans were granted in Kazakhstan Tenge. In total, more than 200 business women had the trainings, 5,797 loans were granted, and 45 consulting projects were launched. As a conclusion, increase in investments of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development in the areas of the Kazakh economy and social life prove that this international financial institution believes in the future of Kazakhstan due to the transformations which take place here today. As for Kazakhstan itself, such a reliable partnership bears evidence of the developing prestige of the country and the favorable investment climate. That's all for today. See you in the next Single Market program. Integration is the leading reason and a good motivation for EAEC countries to be more aware of each other's capabilities in any certain economy areas. For example, it was revelatory for me to find out that Armenia and its population of 3 million hosts more than 1.2 million foreign tourists every year. Elena Kazaryan, our correspondent in Armenia, to follow with the details. There's nothing surprising about the fact that the number of foreign tourists coming to visit Armenia is a third of the country's total population. Even for the most weathered tourists who have a lot of experience under their belt, Armenia offers some of the most unforgettable experiences. Because it is precisely here that one can witness the footprints of events that took place in the ancient times, as well as the great mysteries of the world. It would not be an exaggeration to call Armenia a country of historical treasures, with the world's most ancient observatory, as well as a multitude of old temples and monasteries. Some of them host priceless exhibits. For example, at the Echmiadzin Cathedral, which was built back in the 3rd century AD, one can see Christian relics, a spear with which Jesus of Nazareth was stabbed, parts of the cross and the crown of thorns, the remains of John the Baptist, and Saint Gregory the Illuminator. Armenia is also rich in terms of its natural sites. 90% of the country's territory is located on an altitude of more than 1,000 meters above sea level, and the landscapes here are quite picturesque. One such place is the town of Tsakhadzor. Tsakhadzor is a centuries-old city. In ancient times, it bore the name Tsakhadzor and served as a summer residence for Armenia's kings of the Arsacid dynasty. It is said that the monarchs loved to spend their leisure time here to go hunting and enjoy the aroma of the local flowers. In the summer, the city blooms and blossoms. By the way, Tsakhadzor translates from Armenia as the Valley of Flowers. By the way, in the 1960s, one of the sports complexes of the USSR team was built precisely here along with the cable road. This monument attests to this. At the beginning of the 2000s, the cable road was fully reconstructed. Today, Tsakhadzor attracts guests with its modern stations, lifts, mountain ski pass of 32 kilometers in length, and a convenient transport logistic. It is quite easy to reach it. The Tsakhadzor ski resort is located not far from Yerevan, just 60 kilometers away, on the slopes of the Tsakhadzor Mountains. Annually, it attracts up to 250,000 guests. The business of tourism is one of the main sources of income for the local residents. The Tsakhadzor ski resort is located not far from Yerevan, just 60 kilometers away, on the slopes of the Tsakhadzor Mountains. Annually, it attracts up to 250,000 guests. The business of tourism is one of the main sources of income for the local residents. Thanks to Armenia's accession to the Eurasian Economic Union, the ski resort has all the chances of becoming an enterprise in which it is profitable to invest. Russian entrepreneurs have invested in Tsakhadzor. They're building a big hotel here for 200 guests. Kazakhstan has also expressed interest. Jointly with the Embassy of Kazakhstan and Kazakhstan's tourism companies, we hosted a number of conferences to show how attractive Tsakhadzor is for business activities. During the peak season, Tsakhadzor hosts up to 6,000 tourists. Future plans include increasing the number of guests twofold. By the way, already today, a 10% increase in the number of tourists is observed.
An
information center has been opened in the city, which has been functioning for the second year already. We are actively trying to understand what are the proposals and demands of the tourist. The Mayor's Office, the Fund for the Development of Tourism, are working on filling in the blank spots. In other words, people here are ready to do everything to ensure the comfort of incoming guests and investors. Future plans for Tsakhadzor, including construction of an ice rink, a big alleyway through which one can pass to get to the ancient fortress. Elena Kazaryan, Tigran Glastyan, Gurgen Vardanyan, exclusively for the Single Market Program from Armenia. New Year celebration is a sweet taste. Moreover, this taste is present everywhere, not only in your dining room. Usually when people are visiting each other, they bring sweet gifts to each other. Such a good tradition is practiced around the world. Maria Kuznetsova cooked this story as a sweet dessert for the New Year's release. These small-sized packages of sweets are so unusual for us, for Kazakhstani people. We prefer to buy cookies and candies in bigger amounts to keep them just in case of hosting our guests. But Chinese people buy such products in small portions, just for one time. It would seem a small nuance, but in forming the export batches to the Celestial Empire, our producers had to consider this fact. The Almaty Product Company started its business. It even had not dreamt of making exports. In 2002, halva was the first mastered product. Today, the company's assortment includes more than 160 items of various sweets.
У нас выпускается 22-24 тонны в сутки печенья.
22 to 24 tons of cookies per day means 1.5 tons of dry extrusion type products. 1.5 to 2 tons is caramel, about 1.5 tons is considering one production line is working. If 2 production lines are working, it means 3 tons a day.
Можно поднять производительность. Над этим мы, соответственно, работаем.
In 2012, the company decided to enter the Chinese market. It exported a trial batch of cookies, but they doubt if the Chinese consumers would like the Kazakh products, as Chinese prefer salty biscuits or pepper biscuits. As we personally visited China, we understood that the Chinese are not so happy about sweets. But for some reason, the recent trend was successful. The last 2 to 3 years, our sweets are in demand. I am talking about biscuits, dry breakfast cereal, and caramels, and products with high sugar content.
Сухие завтраки, карамель, то есть с большим содержанием сахара.
Today, several types of our products are exported to China, such as biscuits with nuts, beniseed, and chocolate wafer candies. We have 3 customers in China. They are distributors such as Shuar, Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, Xinjiang. And we have 2 clients in Xinjiang and Xi'an City as well. It's in the center of China. Now 20% is the external supplies out of all products produced here. The products are exported to China and Russia, Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan. Recently, we started supplying to Tajikistan. As one of the prospective plans, we're planning to develop a market in Germany. There's a network in Europe that sells and distributes the products from Russia and CIS countries. We have personally contacted and negotiated with these networks. Today, we're at the contract signature stage. Share of local content in the products of this enterprise is quite high. It is 90% made in Kazakhstan. Almost all the raw materials are purchased from the local producers. Only flavors are purchased from abroad. In order not to lose the position in the domestic market and for the purpose to expand the exporting geography, the company's technologists are continuously updating the composition and improving the taste of their products. By the way, the company's specialists are visiting the best European companies on a regular basis. Due to this reason, they are always aware of the trends in their specific area.
Мы не стоим на месте. Нужны новые...
We're developing all the time and we need new forms. We need new matrix, new technologies and new recipes. We're always working, always doing something. We produce something new.
Что-то новое производим.
Another plan of this company is to create 2 new production lines. This prospect is guided by the increase in demand for these products. This company is proud of having its products on the festive table of the New Year celebration days in Kazakhstan and Russia, China and Uzbekistan. You know that it is very remarkable that these sweets are exported under the original name, which means both the country of origin and a particular city. Maria Kuznetsova, Anatoly Valyuysky, Almaty. Special report for the Single Market Program. That's all for today. Let me remind you that you can find all our stories at www.kazakh-tv.kz.